Here is an example of a fake post from Pastor Bob Joyce. I know it's very hard to read as I hold up the phone, so I'm going to tell you what it says. But here is an example. My name is Jack Willard. The title of our short video, Scammers Pretending to be Bob Joyce. Here we go. A lot of massagers, Massagers, on my phone saying, I'm Elvis Presley. I'm not Elvis Presley. I'm Bob Joyce, and not someone else. I was born Bob Joyce, and I will dead, D-E-A-D, I will dead Bob Joyce. New sentence. Small m to begin the new sentence. May the peace of the Lord, Lord being a small L, be with you all. And then the annoying overused prayer symbol. You see, if you're going to try to be Pastor Bob Joyce, if you're going to try to pull off a scam, you probably have to go to at least the third grade. You have to have some comprehension of the English language. Now, I see posts all the time that are very poorly written, misspelled. I've had people that like to call him Brother Bob Joyce, and in one email will say it 5 times, or one comment in a pre-recorded video or maybe a live show. But every time they say it, they say bother, not brother. Bother Bob Joyce. Leave bother Bob Joyce alone. That kind of thing. So there's a lot of examples of poor writing. And sometimes I forget to check what I've written before I hit send. It's always a good idea to really study what you have written before you hit send. But sometimes if it's an email, I can't correct it. But if it's in a pre-recorded video and I'm responding, then I can edit it. I can change my mistakes, you know. So that is an example of someone who thinks they're cool, who thinks they're being swift, but is practically illiterate. There are so many things to point out here. First of all, you meant a lot of messages on my phone saying, well, he wouldn't put it that way. Everybody knows he wouldn't say this. He wouldn't say it at all. This is not the forum he would use. He would use the church website. And he wouldn't write like you're watching maybe, I don't know, Mr. Rogers saying, I'm not Elvis Presley. I'm not Elvis Presley. He writes a lot better than that. I'm Bob Joyce and not someone else. I was born Bob Joyce, and I will dead Bob Joyce. See, when you write like that, you just expose yourself as a fool. Hopefully, everybody that saw that post would know that. So, Household of Faith, God bless them, they are noticing that this is on the uptick. It's on the uptick, and they keep changing their website. The latest entry, the beginning of the website says, we have heard multiple people this week saying that they have been talking to Pastor Bob Joyce online. In bold caps, no, you have not. Pastor Bob Joyce does not have private conversations online through direct messages or private messages of any kind. Anyone who has contacted you as Bob Joyce is pretending to be Bob Joyce. They are always scammers interested in talking about banking or giving some kind of financial advice. They are not Bob Joyce. You are the target for a scam to take your money. The website always says that Pastor Bob Joyce is not on TikTok. People put him on there. You know, they do the Elvis / Bob Joyce programmers put videos on there, but he does not go on TikTok. He is not a contributor on TikTok. He doesn't use Telegram. That's a new thing to me. I didn't know what Telegram was, except back when I was young, people would send telegrams, usually via Western Union. Hey, Western Union Man was a popular song in the 60s. I don't think Elvis ever did it, but who knows? Who knows? So he just doesn't do that. He just doesn't do that. Back in the day, did he message someone on Facebook Messenger? Perhaps, but they're making it clear that he is not doing that these days at all. So you really have to be careful with the scammers when you're a public person. I have noticed in my emails, since I give out my email all the time, that out of the blue, maybe starting when we became more successful than ever in the fall of 2023, and we're still growing, over 6,800 subscribers now, and I thank you. That's not much to someone who's really successful on YouTube, but I so appreciate it. I so appreciate the likes and the subscribing. Over 6,800 subscribers, when last October we barely had over 3,000. And I thank you that the channel is growing, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. But I have noticed that I have had emails requesting my personal phone number. It's gone from 0 people doing that to maybe I've received 8 to a dozen emails. They've got something really important to tell me, see? And they can't do it in an email. They want to talk to me. And every creator on YouTube that is, got all their marbles realizes you just can't do that. I'm, at the lower echelon of the programmers in terms of the response that people like Bobby Arnoff get. For example, it's Bobby with an I. She gets to interview Jimmy Kimmel and big stars, the guy from Shark Tank, Mark Cuban. She's the cat's meow right now and gets millions of views. And she's leasing a Tesla now, saying, keep the views up or I won't be able to pay for my Tesla. Yeah, you can make that kind of money if you're really, really popular. But I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm a sex appeal, So this is the favorite topic of the audience. They really enjoy that. It is the topic that keeps on giving, and your contributions certainly keep on giving. I so appreciate them in the email. But you don't give out your personal contact information, nor if you get a call on your phone, if you're smart, you don't say, oh, what's this number? Now, sometimes it'll say scam likely, but not always. But if you have no idea who is calling you, let it go to voicemail and then check it out then. Most times there won't be one. So be careful. Pastor Bob Joyce doesn't even take a literal offering in the church. I'm told he doesn't take a salary. Those of you who tell me he's dirt poor, I don't think so. But I also hear that people do put in money in the box in the church. They'll let you know that there's a box if you want to put your offering in, and you should. It's biblical. It is an opportunity to obey the the Lord to give your first fruits. You don't come to church and not put something in that box unless you have nothing to give, and then you give your time and service, that kind of thing, because the Bible says you can't outgive God, that he will multiply, he will give back, he will open up a window and bless you with blessings so big that you won't be able to contain the blessing. Don't think just because there are these prosperity teachers that go overboard, they end up with a mansion and $1 million car, etc. And they're pushing that every sermon. Don't think just because they're out there, that doesn't mean that financial blessings aren't part of what happens when you trust God with all your heart, soul, and mind. I'm not going to preach a sermon here. I just wanted to say that. So Pastor Bob Joyce is a very humble guy. There's no high pressure when you go in there. From what everybody tells me, there's just a wonderful atmosphere, friendly people, people praising the Lord, working hard to make that service everything it can be, and then loading it onto YouTube on Sunday night. Now, for some reason, I'm talking to you on the 16th of March, Saturday night. I'm getting ready to do Worldwide Ramblings at 11 o'clock East Coast time, Daylight Savings Time. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like the praise service was loaded from last week's service. So I would be curious as to those of you who attended, what happened at that praise service? Of course, what we would think is that somebody really special showed up at that praise service, but that's not necessarily the case. That's just the way programmers would think, because we do think, we are pretty sure that some very notable people have come to Household of Faith, including, of course, Gene Ho, the owner of George Magazine. And we like to promo things, including involving Household of Faith. We're going to tell you more and more about the special 2 days that are coming up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, on the 10th and 11th of August 2024. And Pastor Bob is involved with that. I don't know about Saturday, but I know that on Sunday he will move the church to the convention hall in Hot Springs, where the Saturday event will be going on, and he will do the Sunday service from there. Doors open at 9 o'clock. No saving seats, they say. So get there a little early, and I don't know how many seats. I'll find that out, though, how many seats it holds. And then there'll be a big baptism service, and they want you to contact the church if you want to be baptized. And if you go to georgemagazine.com, you can get all the details on the big service. The event Saturday, and the Sunday is free with Pastor Bob Joyce. Saturday is a ticketed event, and there's 3 levels. They tell you all about that, georgemagazine.com. You don't get finer people than Gene Ho. You don't get finer people than Gene Ho, except maybe the pastor himself. So that's our video. Be careful of the scammers. They're out there. How many times have you gotten a phone call saying that your car warranty has expired or it's about to expire? Those kind of things. Just don't even answer the calls if you don't know who's calling you. See if there's a message. Scammers pretending to be Bob Joyce. It's happening quite a bit, so be on the lookout. Don't be fooled, people. My name is Jack Willard. My personal email, Jack the Fair Guy, Fair, Jack the Fair Guy @gmail.com.